So hello everyone, this is me again, Shaina Noor Ahmed. This video is concerned with the language stuff. So see, first of all comes the composition part. Now for composition, go for the one that you are comfortable with. Okay, so yeah, see, I was the kind of person who would attempt either argumentative essays because I was comfortable with that. I'll just look at the stand and I'll see if if I'm comfortable with it, and I'll go for it. Now be very careful that you are not supposed to go in between. Okay, you just have to talk about the fact if you're either for the motion or against the motion. Don't get on two boats at the same time. Okay, be careful with that. I also prefer the abstract ones, the ones that have this a single word is given to you and you have to elaborate on that. I preferred that. Okay, and also another thing is that if you're going for something that is narrative, that is to be written in the form of a story or something, be very careful because it requires you to use the elements of story writing. You have to introduce characters, you have to add dialogues, you have to show a sort of climax, and so on and so forth. So please be very vigilant if you're attempting such sort of a question, and don't take the risk. If you're not comfortable with it, don't do it. Another is that the descriptive ones. So if you're talking about a snake, we have to somehow we associate the word hiss with a snake. Okay, so if you are writing something that describes a snake and you are not using the jargon, okay, you are not using the terms that can describe that, then it will be a problem. Okay, so choose descriptive essays very carefully. If you have that vocabulary, if you know how to describe something, then only go for it. Okay, and it's up to you. Whatever you are comfortable with it, go for it. For statement of purpose and report writing, I'll just say that use your brain and be very particular with the format. Okay, use your brain. Why? Because see, when I was in standard 10th, I was somehow for whatever reason, I was freaked out with the English language paper and I ended up scoring 86 in that. Okay, I could have done better, but for some reason I was just very much nervous. Maybe it was the first day of the paper or something, but I was nervous. Okay, I admit that I could have done better than 86, but here I am. Now don't fret. Okay, whatever is the topic, just make sure you don't need to have a flamboyant vocabulary. You just need to think that what I can write in this particular topic. Okay, see, if they give you a proposal to for setting up a book club. Okay, so what will you do if you're asked to set up a book club in your school? What will you look for? A venue, a timing, some funding, and a teacher convener who can guide you with that, right? Add these points, come up with 4-5 points, add them, and be very straightforward and crisp and simple in your vocabulary. And same goes for report writing. So for report writing, just make sure that you go through 1 or 2 examples. For proposal, do the same. But one thing is that you need to be very careful with the grammar, because that's where they cut your marks. Okay, see, it's not just about this exam, it's about learning something. Okay, you should why shouldn't you be interested in learning English? That is a language, right? Even if obviously in these 2 days you cannot do much about the grammar thing, but you can always look ahead. There is always some opportunity in life. Okay, just do that. So make sure that you are you are into reading, because if you read, you can just do wonders with language. See, I am the kind of person who is not very much comfortable with grammar at all the times, but I was the kind of person who would read a lot. Okay, I read a lot, and that's why I can frame sentences grammatically accurately at times. Okay, and at times, or maybe a lot of times, okay, even I make grammatical mistakes, but I can I have some sort of grammatical accuracy, and that's because I read. So when you read, you understand things automatically. It just gets into your head and you start framing that way. But 2 things that I would personally suggest that you should keep in mind while you're attempting this paper. Number 1, there's no past tense used with did. It's not did went, it's did go. He didn't went is wrong, he didn't go is right. Okay, and another thing that I personally found a little I found it a little harsh on my ears to listen to somebody speak like that, but it's not listen me or listen music. I'm listening music. It's listening to music. It's listen to me. So this is something that I found a little harsh on my ears, but now I have like understood that yes, English is like a foreign language for most of us, and that's it. But you should always strive towards accuracy, because why not learn something in accurate terms, right? So keep such things in mind. And it's not same goes for staring. You don't stare someone, you stare at someone. So that's how it goes. Okay, just keep such little things in your mind. And when it comes to comprehension, obviously you can tackle that. Just read it very carefully, then read the questions, and there you go. For Prezi also, please be very particular with the format. It's a little confusing when there you have a draft box, you cross that off, and then you come to a new one. So be very particular with the format. Otherwise, comprehension is like the easiest question that you have in your paper. Okay, just be vigilant. Okay, being vigilant is very important. Otherwise, nothing works. Finally, coming to the grammar portion. Now, for this, I have a few advices. In phrasal verbs and such things, they just try to confuse you. Okay, like they'll give two such sort of questions that will have agree to, agree with, and everything. Just make sure that you go through your textbook very carefully. You understand how a particular phrasal verb is used. Another thing is that when it comes to direct, indirect, active, passive, and other such things, make sure that you go through the rules. Okay, go through the rules. And for testing that, just don't read the answers to the examples. Hide that. And then you read the question, then you try to answer it aloud yourself and see where you go wrong and how it can be corrected. Do this with just 4 or 5 sentences before exam. It will work out for you. Okay, you have 24 hours in a day. You can do this. Okay, just believe in yourself, be a little calm, and you can do this. Okay, so yeah. And another thing is that in case of direct, indirect, I'll just say that make sure that you change the time and other things, like this becomes that, yesterday becomes day before yesterday. I'm so sorry, yesterday becomes the day before. So when I was in class 8th and I was a newbie at active, passive, and such stuff, not exactly one, but from standard 8 things get a little more serious. So I committed this mistake. I changed the sentence properly, but I did not change the time. So please be very careful with that. Just practice that way and it will be good. So don't fret, be calm, and you will do it. All the best.